beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina, your favorite psychic here on YouTube, and I'd like to welcome you into the fam. You guys, what is up? Can you believe that we're already entering the month of March? I feel like it was just yesterday that we crossed over to 2023, and now look at us. We're already almost in spring. And if you've been feeling a little confused or down and out about your love life, or maybe you just like confirmation about what's transpiring next for you, then this is the perfect tarot reading for you. Because in order to receive your March love predictions, I've got 4 groups prepared for you to choose from. And I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. And don't worry guys, your general horoscopes for March, which are based on your zodiac sign, will be dropping very soon on my channel. So if this is the first time that you're here, don't forget to subscribe. That way you'll never miss another monthly prediction and you can be prepared for each month of the year. So allow me to introduce you to the 4 groups that I have prepared for you today. Group number 1 corresponds to the Gaia Oracle deck as well as the Citrine crystal. Group number 2 corresponds to the Shamanic Medicine Oracle deck as well as the Carnelian crystal. Group number 3 corresponds to the Tarot of Curious Creatures as well as the Amethyst crystal. And group number 4 corresponds to the Gentle Heart Tarot deck as well as the Rose Quartz crystal. But the timestamps to all 4 of these groups can be found down below in the description box as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. That way you've got quick and easy access from your mobile devices. All you got to do is click your timestamp and you'll be fast forwarded to the group of your choice. So I will now provide you with a little moment of privacy and complete silence so you can meditate on the 4 groups. Feel free to pause the video right here if you need to. I recommend that you don't overthink this process. Go with whichever group that you intuitively feel drawn towards, whichever one gives you the best vibes. And remember that your personal reading could also be a mixture between multiple groups. So if you feel inclined to tune into multiple groups, don't shy away from doing so. After all, my readings are here to help support you, to help bring you healing energy and positive vibes. So make as much use of these videos as you can. So as promised, now comes your moment of privacy, and then I'll be right back to guide you into your predictions. So by now, you've hopefully been able to select one of these 4 groups. I will now get straight into your reading, starting off with group number 1, which corresponds to the Gaia Oracle as well as the Citrine crystal. So if this is the group that you chose, then please simply continue watching. And to all of my other beautiful groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1 and welcome to your March love predictions. Now you chose the Gaia Oracle as well as the Citrine crystal. And right off the bat, I just want you to know whether you're single or in a relationship, this reading is for you, as we will be looking at all of the variables within your tarot reading. So first up, allow me to do a close-up of the crystal of your choice. This is the Citrine. I'm actually also wearing Citrine, as you can see right here. And right here, you can find these gorgeous high-quality crystal rings linked below in the description box. And I've also got Citrine scattered all over our set today. So this is a stone of abundance, which may be the reason why you felt drawn to it. Maybe you're attracting a lover who has some good finances, group number 1. Just kidding. Let's move into your reading so we can figure out for a fact what's really happening in your love life during the month of March. So let's see what the universe has to say for you, group number 1. First up, we've got the Amethyst, so another crystal. In the Amethyst, I can see here that March brings you transformation, certainty, and confidence. So if you haven't been feeling very confident in your love life or in yourself when it comes to love, know that March is going to turn that around, group number 1. You're going to feel like you're sure when it comes to where you stand in love. So if you're in a situationship, we're going to get clarification about where that relationship is going. And if you are in a committed relationship and you've wanted more commitment, more certainty, or more clarity, you're receiving that in March. Furthermore, this is amping up your confidence, because even if you are in a kind of wonky relationship, in an unstable relationship, and you find out that the person really doesn't want anything to do with a long-term commitment, you will feel confident stepping away from the situation situationship into being single or finding someone else. You might already have someone else in your life who's willing to take over and ready to be committed. So you will leave any situation with dignity, with self-respect and confidence. And that is definitely going to make whoever you left behind feel lost. That's what I see here within the search. They will be phoning you, texting you, trying to get you back. So know that in March, if you have to make that difficult choice to leave someone who isn't appreciating you in order to move on to confidence and certainty, whoever you're leaving behind is going to be confused and lonely. They're going to think to themselves, wait a minute, I thought he or she would be with me no matter what I said or did. So they really left me. They really had that much self-confidence. They're going to be baffled. They're going to not know what hit them. And I want you to know here that even if you stay in your relationship after March, just taking a step back from whenever you feel like you're being taken for granted and just completely showing that that is not how you're willing to be treated, and enforcing boundaries is a way of you making sure that you get that respect that you deserve and that is owed to you in a relationship. And I don't like using the word owed to you ever, but when it comes to any type of relationship, there has to be respect. There is no other way for it to function and be healthy. And I see here within intuitive communication that the month of March is going to bring a lot of silent whispers of the heart and of your guides. So a lot of synchronicities coming your way. Those synchronicities could include different things of nature, like you seeing certain flowers or certain trees, certain numbers as well that you feel connected to and where you feel like your angels are speaking to you. Like if you constantly see roses or tulips or hydrangeas, maybe you see pine trees in places you shouldn't usually be seeing pine trees, and you know that it's kind of like a sign for your situation. Number repetitions as well. Here we've got the number 43. So if you check the clock and it's 3:33 p.m., for example, these are all ways in which your guides are helping you navigate your love life during the month of March and make you feel more certain that you're not alone, because group number 1, you are never alone. Don't forget that. Next up, we've got rehabilitation. And actually, funny side story before we move into rehabilitation. You may or may not know this, but my second name, Somuayina, which is actually a Nigerian name because I'm half Swiss and half Nigerian, actually it means I'll never be alone. So I really resonate with that notion of you never being alone, and that's a type of feeling I really want you to get, to sense, to learn, because that way you will never be lonely and you will never settle for people who don't deserve you just out of fear of what loneliness might be, because know that being alone doesn't have to equate to you feeling lonely. Next up, we've got rehabilitation, which shows me that March is like a real break for you, group number 1. If love has been stressing you out, or if love has been nothing but a roller coaster ride for you as of recently, March is finally like that calm, tranquil energy that you need. And I see that that's most likely because you are in control of situations, because you're not at the mercy of other people, and your willingness to walk away, boy, that is really what differentiates you from other people. So if you are dating, know that your willingness to walk away is very attractive. It shows that you've got standards and you've got self-respect, and that actually makes people even more attracted to you. And if you are in a committed relationship, still having that willingness to maintain space with your partner if you are not treated respectfully, that again enforces the idea and the fact that you love yourself and you put your peace over everything. I see here with an endless serendipity that your love life is actually bringing you a lot of great things, a lot of good energy, a lot of good luck. That's what serendipity really means. It's like unexpected unexpected goodness and abundance that's coming towards you. So love is going to be better than you expected during the month of March. I'm very happy to say that for you, group number 1, and very happy to see that appear within your Pick a Card tarot reading. Let's move further into it, shall we? Next up, we've got the Princess of Cups. So I see that you'll have lots of moments of feeling very in love and giddy and excited. So if you're dating, know that this is definitely a sign of some fun dates with someone whom you feel comfortable around. So meeting someone who makes you feel like you're excited to leave your house. And this is especially helpful if you've been going through a time of feeling a little down or depressed and not really wanting to leave your house at all. Having that one person that makes you excited to get out, I mean, it can be very therapeutic and can be more effective than a therapist, actually, group number 1. And next up in the 9 of Swords, I definitely see that sleep is not a priority. So I don't even want to get into details about what you're maybe doing in your free time in the month of March, since sleep is not a priority. But group 1, you are up all night doing all types of things, all types of acrobatics, but maybe it's also just some good old insomnia, you know? I want you to understand in the 9 of Swords that yes, you can sometimes go through phases of not getting very much sleep, but honestly, it is not healthy. So try to get that under control and try to dial in some sort of routine that allows you to get enough sleep every single night as much as you possibly can. Now, the 6 of Wands shows me that you've got a lot of energy, and anything that you do in your love life during the month of March is going to be positive as long as you put that good energy into it. So whether you go on dates, whether you try to reconcile with a partner and find a solution to understanding one another in a healthier way, the 6 of Wands definitely shows me here that you are a leader. You're the type of person who isn't argumentative, who is pretty agreeable as long as they feel understood. And I also definitely see here that for the month of March, your love life is looking triumphant. Now, the 10 of Wands does show me that with all of this kind of initiative that you put into your love life, going out, thinking of ways to make sure you are in healthy relationships romantically and other relationships too, right, with friends and family, it is a lot for you to carry on your shoulders. I see in the 10 of Wands that you need a little time out. You need to be able to enjoy your relationships without so much pressure. So if there are certain relationships where you feel like you constantly need to walk on eggshells, because I see that here with the 9 of Swords and the Princess of Cups, there is a relationship that makes you feel almost childlike, that makes you feel like you have to be very careful about what you say to that person. I see that it's probably best for you to take some steps away from it if you know you can't address it, if you know that's going to cause more drama than anything. As I see here within the 3 of Cups that you actually have so many other people in your life in March that bring you joy and happiness and love on a platonic and romantic level, that you don't need to kind of count on that one connection that gives you a lot of anxiety, and instead focus on love. I see with the 3 of Cups and the 6 of Wands that romantic love is going to be here for you in the month of March. I see romantic love that is built on a very honest foundation. And next up, we've got the 3 of Pentacles. This is someone that you have similar interests with in the earthly realm. So you do things similarly when it comes to work. You have the same outlook on finances, on hobbies, on how you want to spend your free time, how you want to even like retire and live into old age. I see something that almost feels like a soulmate connection. Actually, I'll put the 3 of Pentacles over here with the 3 of Cups for you. So these are together. And the number 3 is important. We already spoke about the number 3 with intuitive communication alongside the number 4, but 3 is really being reiterated here within your reading. So do know that this is a number for you to look out for, especially in the angel number form of 333. Next up, we've got the Nine of Swords. We've had the Nine of Swords now twice within your reading. Once in this gorgeous Mystic Monday tarot deck, which I really love, and then also in the Pastel Journey Tarot, which is actually my tarot deck. So having the Nine of Swords show up twice in the 78 card decks, the chances are very small for that to happen, so it is meaningful, and I see that your guides are trying to warn you of exhaustion when it comes to your mind. Overthinking can really affect your body. It can really affect how much energy you've got in a day, how much you're able to get done, and it may seem like, well, how could that possibly affect your energy levels? It's just something mental, but your brain is definitely like the engine of everything that you do. And when your brain takes up a lot of energy, you feel that in your body. You feel when you've had a stressful day overthinking, even though you maybe didn't move a lot or you didn't work out, it can definitely affect you physically when you're ruminating or overthinking. If this has anything to do with situationships or past breakups that are making you overthink new scenarios, it's time to cut the cord. That's the message that we've got here for you, group number one. You can't put yourself in a situation where you're allowing for past lovers or past people who you have left in the past to affect your present moment, romantically speaking, especially with all the goodness we've got here for you, with all the opportunity to enjoy love and your sensuality. And as mentioned earlier, you spending time with people who really appreciate you. Leave the past in the past when it comes to your love life and focus on everything that's going amazingly well for you. In intuitive communication, I do see that there is an instant connection with another person, a soulmate connection. If you're already in a relationship and you feel like you are with your soulmate, then that would make a lot of sense for you, group one. And if you're single, get ready for a really interesting person to enter your life with whom you love spending time with, and where you also don't need to over communicate. You don't have to explain everything you're feeling or everything that your mind is going through. They just somehow already know and understand you in an amazing way. Now, group one, this is the reading I received for you. Make sure that you leave a little sun emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you chose group one and that you feel better prepared for your romantic life in March now that you've received your reading compared to when you just clicked this video. I'd like to thank you so much for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your March love prediction. You chose the Shamanic Medicine Oracle deck as well as the Carnelian Crystal. So whether you're single or in a committed relationship, this reading will apply to you when it comes to the month of March and the subject of love. So here we've got the Carnelian, all close up and personal. Now, you may have felt drawn to this stone because of its beautiful blood red appearance, but maybe because you intuitively felt that this is a stone of passion. I'll just put it right up here for you. This is a stone of excitement, of energy, and of getting things done. This is a stone of action. So the Carnelian exudes this energy of not playing around. And I definitely see that that's a theme that we've got for you, group number two, during the month of March in your love life. So first up, we've got a birth. Wow, there's something happening around you that lets you know there is a birth that's coming towards you. Now, this may be a friend, this could be a sibling or a coworker. Obviously, you would have already known if you're giving birth in March. When this comes as a surprise here for you in your reading, know that someone near you is going to have a pregnancy announcement. And while that may not be romantic love for you, it is still love. It is still part of feelings of care, of love, and a very strong emotion. So that showing up within your reading just gives you a heads up that someone around you has a huge announcement when it comes to this, and March is going to be the month in which they let you know. Now, within the flute, I can see a lot of expression that's coming towards you romantically speaking. So anyone who cares about you will let you know that they care about you. So know that if you're unsure about how someone feels about you, they're most likely not the right match. If you're in a situationship and you need to continuously wonder where you stand, where this thing is going, or how they feel about you, that is not the dynamic that is meant for you. Within the flute, I see that you are meant to be loved loudly, you are meant to be loved hard and very publicly. I see here within the altar that that's precisely what should be happening for you. It should almost be as though you are on someone's altar, being loved by them, being cared for. And I see here within the altar that another thing that you should be experiencing is worshiping, is this feeling of being on a little pedestal. Of course, not to an unhealthy degree, but I see here that once you let go of the people who aren't meant for you, you will find that you're being prioritized. You will find that love feels very easy and clear. And you will also find that maybe all of a sudden you're thinking, hey, I could be in a position of starting or expanding my family myself if I'm with a partner who really gets it, who really cares, and who really shows up for me and expresses how much they love me. They express what they need and how they feel about the relationship that they've got with me. Next up, we've got prioritize reflection. So for you, the month of March comes with a lot of self-reflection about relationships and how you'd like for your love life to grow and continue to move forward. I see for you, group number 2, that you're also the type of person who isn't afraid to look at their own flaws. You are definitely not a narcissist. You are more of an empath and an introspective type of person who understands that in relationships you've got to take responsibility. And I see within the best of you that March is actually really bringing out a version of you that is super mature, that people want to be around, and that is really the best version of you yet. So I do see that this makes you attractive to other people because they feel as though you are very trustworthy and you are someone who they can speak to. You're someone who doesn't just put themselves on an altar or on a pedestal and expect others to worship them. When it happens, you accept the love. You accept the fact that someone is treating you nicely, but you understand that nevertheless you are human and you also have things that you can do in order to make relationships a success. I want you to know that the month of March is a month of you glowing up, taking bubble baths, moisturizing your skin, taking care of your hair. You're glowing, you're gleaming, you're in a place where you're attracting suitors. Even if you are in a committed relationship, you're still attractive. You've still got it, group number 2. And here within trust your intuition, trust your gut feeling when selecting a romantic partner. Don't be afraid to go with whoever feels the best, okay? And by feels the best, I mean whoever makes you excited to check your phone. Not anxious, excited. Those emotions can be very close to one another, so make sure that you really prioritize reflection, because a lot of times people stay in situationships or relationships where they mistake excitement for happiness, where they mistake excitement in an anxious way for something good. If you are constantly anxious about what they're going to text you, whether they're happy with the last thing that you sent, whether they're going to all of a sudden ghost you or something like that, that is anxiety. That is not a healthy dynamic. You should be happy to hear from them because you already know it's going to be positive. And for all of you who are in difficult relationships, I just want you to know that you can get out of it, especially if you've been in it for a long time and you're scared to be on your own, or you're scared about what they're capable of if they find out you're planning on leaving and they get mad. Trust me, there is a way for you to exit a situation that intuitively feels wrong, and March is the month for you to make all of those plans and strategies should that apply to you. Next, we've got the 10-90 ratio, which I created here in the Wild Muse Oracle deck, and what the 10-90 ratio ratio stands for is the fact that life really is just 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you react to it, group 2. And I see that this is something that you're applying during the month of March because you're starting to realize that in life, when things happen to you that are challenging or difficult, really what allows you to solve the problem is how you react to it. You can stay for a very long time in a very problematic relationship or in a very problematic situationship if you look at it as being the victim or something that is just a dead end road, especially if you are living with the person and you wonder how you're going to afford to move out, to pay rent by yourself. Maybe you have other commitments together like children, pets. Things can get complicated, but definitely know that if you're not happy with your romantic situation, you can change it. And the month of March will inspire you to do so because there's so many big things happening, especially here with this pregnancy announcement, with this birth announcement. I want you to know that that is just the inspiration that you needed to push yourself to remember that you still have so much life ahead of you. Any romantic situationship that you're not happy with can be ended and you can find your soulmate. You can find your forever love and your twin flame. Don't worry about this, even if you're in a very committed relationship that you've grown out of. Now, the Chariot shows me forward movement. Whatever happens for you in love in March, it was meant to happen so you can move forward, so you can make progress. So in March, know that your romantic life is actually going to progress to a next stage that you're very excited about and happy with. I also see here within the Chariot that moving forward is something that's happening very rapidly. So there are a lot of big changes that are coming towards you. And do know that these are happy changes. These are good changes. Your love life is moving in the right direction. I see, in the King of Pentacles, we've got a snack. We've got a earth sign snack for you, group number 2. And an earth sign means a Taurus, Capricorn, or a Virgo. Earth signs are known to be very practical, very loyal, very reliable and grounded and centered. And the King of Pentacles, I mean, we see someone who is a businessman. We see someone who has their life together, who has things going for them, who is a little bit more mature, a little bit more advanced in age compared to you. Actually, why don't we consult with Spirit how many years we're looking at here when it comes to the age difference? So Spirit, what age difference are we looking at? Okay, so we have got 2 years here when it comes to the King of Pentacles. So not that much, but they have a very kind of mature aura and a very mature way of speaking and conducting themselves. So they are wise beyond their years, and they're just a type of person that people look up to and that has a very senior role at the job that they work at. Maybe they've even got their own business. So they're definitely someone who is in charge. Next up, we've got the Five of Swords. So I see in the Five of Swords for you in your love life that there will definitely be some people who have things to say to you about your love life, who want you to lead your life in a certain way. So you might just be breaking out of some norms that you were used to for a long time. Maybe in your cultural background, religion is very important, or it's very important that you're with someone from the same ethnic background. Maybe you also have parents and friends who don't even know that you are queer or bi or gay or trans or whatever it is that you identify as. Whatever it is that defies the social norms. Maybe you're also okay with a very progressive relationship where you want to be with someone with whom you can still wear the pants and have areas of your life where you lean into your femininity more. I mean, this is a very individual thing. But the thing about the Five of Swords is just that it's very clear people have a lot to say about you not just doing everything in a cookie cutter way. And that's fine. I see here in the Ten of Swords that that's not really going to last. The Ten of Swords shows me that it's going to go in one ear, out the other. You're not really listening to other people's advice on your romantic life, especially if it's coming from people who have never had a successful romantic life themselves. And I do definitely see here in the Ten of Swords that it's just not something you're going to pay any attention to. you're listening to your intuition, you're trusting your intuition, you're understanding that when things feel right and you feel like you're moving forward healthily, that's what matters. What people often see in love is just a facade. I mean, there are a lot of people who tell their friends and family members to stay in toxic relationships for their own selfish reasons and motives. Maybe they're afraid of what other relatives will say, what the community will say, rather than looking at the individual affected and saying, hey, I think this isn't healthy. So you've got to look out for yourself. But know here that March, it is a very positive month for you, group number 2. We've got love. Quite literally, out of all of the cards that you could have received from this deck, we received love. It's clear here that the month of March is going to bring love to you. It's going to be a month filled with a lot of different types of love, both platonic and romantic. We've got the King of Pentacles as a great option if you're single or in a situationship where you just need movement, okay? You've got to move on from a situationship that is keeping you in limbo, because that's not fair. That's not something that you would do to this person. So don't allow anyone to do this to you, because we teach people how to treat us, group number 2. And don't allow for any treatment that you don't agree with or that you wouldn't reciprocate. So know that the month of March overall is an empowering month for you. It is a month of forward movement. When you go through March, you will look back at the first day of March and think to yourself, man, I never saw all this change coming. But guess what? It was for the best. I've got so much more love in my life, and I am moving in the direction that I've always wanted to move towards. Whether that is a committed relationship with marriage and kids down the line, whether that is just a situation in which you feel comfortable and you're having amazing intimate moments, whatever it is that you desire, group number 2, that is what you're moving towards. That is what you're working towards. So I'm very excited to see what comes next for you. Group 2, thank you for being here. We're at the end of your reading, by the way. Leave a little rocket ship emoji below in the comment section, which is symbolic of all this movement that we have going on and allows me to know that you made it to the end of your reading and that you're a real one. Group 2, thank you so much for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, all my lovely souls of group number 3. You chose the Tarot of Curious Creatures as well as the Amethyst crystal. Let's first do a close-up of the crystal of your choice. Now, you may have chosen this gorgeous crystal and deck combo because you liked its colors, but in case you didn't know, the amethyst is actually a crystal that helps connect you to your intuition and your psychic abilities. So if you've always wanted a stone that you can wear or keep on your desk in your home, that allows you to bring out your connection to your intuition and make great decisions for yourself, the amethyst is an amazing stone for you to add to your collection or even start your collection with. So now let's move into your prediction, shall we? First up, we've got the Page of Pentacles, but reversed. Now, the Page of Pentacles reversed shows me that you're taking the next steps in your romantic life to asking for what you want. So if you've always wanted to be in a relationship and have a love language fulfilled, such as someone calling you every day or giving you gifts or making sure that you feel very secure through words of affirmation, I see that you're definitely moving on from letting a lot of things slide that you don't like or your needs not being fulfilled to just asking for these things and simply saying, hey, I need this in order to feel happy. And if someone isn't willing to do it, well, then they're not the one for you. And I see a certain willingness to walk away here from any relationship or situationship that doesn't work for you. So group 3, you're not playing during the month of March. That's one thing that I see right off the bat. Next up, we've got the Tower, but also in reverse for you. Let's zoom in here. The Tower showing up in reverse shows me that anything that could have fallen apart has already fallen apart. So if you are currently in a relationship and you're kind of trying to work things out, you will be able to work it out through March, because any relationship that wasn't meant to last would have already fallen apart in January, February, or actually earlier in the year 2022. Next up, we've got the 9 of Swords, which shows me here that there is someone who is very afraid of losing you during the month of March. I see here that there There's someone who wants to make sure that they act in an appropriate manner so they don't end up scaring you away or making you walk away. So you really sticking to your requirements and sticking to your guns, so to say, is actually in your favor, because now you are in a position where your needs are being met and people know that you're serious. People know that if you don't feel respected and valued and you don't feel as though your needs are being met, you're not sticking around. I mean, for what? If one person won't do it, there's another person out here amongst 8 billion people who will. Next up, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune shows me here that the month of March is looking up for you. This is a prosperous month when it comes to love. This is a month that you will remember positively and that will bring opportunity for you to have a love life that you feel proud of and you really like. And that makes a lot of sense with what we've discussed so far when it comes to you truly setting boundaries and rules and enforcing those to the point that people, they really know that you mean it. Like, they know you're not playing around. The Ten of Pentacles shows me a lot of happiness and fulfillment coming from that. You're the type of person who doesn't take things or people for granted. So you being more in control or in leadership in a romantic relationship is a good thing for the relationship. It makes the relationship really healthy because you don't take advantage of situations. The Ten of Pentacles shows me that you're with someone thinking of booking a vacation, of what the future may look like. You are really planning for the long term, for the long haul. So if you're already in a committed relationship, you are looking to go somewhere, like on a trip, on some sort of getaway. Your person and you're building a future together. You're thinking of solidifying things, buying a home together. You are investing, you're saving, you're doing good things for your finances. And if you're single, I want you to know that anyone who you're with during the month of March is someone who has a solid head on their shoulders, who understands how to be financially responsible, and who wants to do a lot of things for you when it comes to material gifts and also traveling with you, taking you to see places all around the world. I see within the Page of Swords that this is most likely new to you, and I see a little bit of discomfort here as you're in a position where you're receiving more than you're maybe used to from your person or just in love in general. So you receiving gifts is maybe something you want to say no to. Maybe you also feel a bit uncomfortable because you don't want the person to think you're just with them for that. But remember, group 3, there are people out here who love to give gifts. That is their love language. It makes them happy to do things for you. Let them. As long as you're not asking for anything and someone is offering, enjoy it. That is part of love. I mean, your romantic partner most likely doesn't ask you for every single thing that you do, yet you still want to do it. And when they let you do things for them, you're happy about it. Whether that's cooking them a meal, telling them how amazing that they are, texting them good morning or good night, it is all part of love. Don't deny yourself of these experiences. Next up, we've got the Hermit for you. This shows me a lot of intimate, romantic, alone time with another person. So not being out in public too much. Maybe the weather is pretty bad in March, but maybe you're also just excited to get under those sheets and get a little freaky, group number 3. So I hope there are no minors in here, but you know, it is YouTube, so everyone's let in here. If you are underaged, keep it PG-13. And for all of my grown-ups here in the Hermit, I want you to know that this is a great time to connect on another level with a person who you're attracted to. If you've been in a relationship for a long time and your love life has grown a little stale or it's become a little repetitive, then this is a month for you to purchase toys, to try new things, role play, try different ways in which you can spice the situation up, because that will just bring a very exciting energy to your love life throughout March. And I also see that that will make you feel really confident and good about yourself. The more you can try new things and know that you're still attractive and that there's still a spark in your life, the more that will remind you of your worth and the fact that you have a lot to be proud of. In Know Your Worth, this is also symbolic of you not settling for less. And we've been talking about this throughout the beginning of your reading, especially not settling for treatments that you know don't fulfill you 100%, not letting things slide that you don't really want to let slide or that actually kind of bothered you. No, we're rectifying that. We're not letting that happen again. As I see here in Claim Your Energy, you're not giving your energy to anyone's dusty, crusty son or daughter who is just here to stress you out or to tell you that they don't want to do more than the bare minimum. That is not happening, group number 3. You are not settling for that. You would rather claim your energy for yourself and your own self-development and making more money, proving yourself more at work, studying for exams, just overall making your life better than spend time with someone who is showing that they don't really appreciate you to the degree that they should. And I see here within the journey that you are so kind and gentle with yourself for past mistakes you have made in love or past treatments that you have accepted even though you maybe should not have, because you know it's a learning curve. I mean, we all go through it. If I think back to when I was 15 or 16, I mean, the stuff I was okay with, of course, I would never be okay with that now at the age of 26, you know. And in the journey, understand that we all go through experiences in love that shape our perception, and we all need to figure out what is a non-negotiable, what we're happy with, what we really want and crave in a relationship, and what we can forego. And it is a very individual thing. Don't let anyone shame you. If for you, for example, it is important to be with someone who chips in financially, stick to that standard. Even if you go on dates with people or you're seeing people who tell you, oh, I don't think so, or you're a gold digger or whatever cop out it is that they want to use, let them. But tell them, look, that's your opinion. I don't really care. That's my non-negotiable. So either you're going to do it or not. And trust me, if they're really into you, they will do it, whatever your non-negotiable is. Because just think about it. If you are wildly and madly in love, if your person tells you to dress up as Pikachu, would you not dress up as Pikachu if that's something that made them happy? Would you not do that if that put a smile on their face? Of course you would do that for someone you absolutely love. Maybe not every day. Maybe it would be a little freaky to do that when you're intimate, but hey, you may still even think about doing it then for the person you really love because you want to do something for them. You want to make them happy. You know it's important to them. And if you see a future with them, you can compromise. And this is one thing you are being reminded of, that someone who really cares, they're going to try to compromise on your non-negotiables and fulfill those, especially if it's something that isn't a crazy ask. Next up, we've got the Ochre Sea Star. You're embracing the changes, and I see that you're fully equipped for anything that comes towards you here during the month of March, whether that is going on a lot of dates and meeting a lot of people, whether that is rapid changes in your own relationship. And I mean positive changes, because we do definitely see here that when it comes to your intimate life and your romantic life, things are getting more spicy and interesting again. Here we've got your bold side in the Titan triggerfish, which definitely speaks to doing some freaky things behind closed doors. And don't be afraid to be the one to make the first move, to maybe talk about some of the things that you like that are unconventional, or even if they are conventional, just say what you like, because there's nothing better than being in a romantic relationship where your partner fulfills your needs in every way, whether that be in a sensual way, whether that be just a love language that you need fulfilled. Say what it is that you need and know that the right person, they're going to do it. We've got Know Your Worth again in the candy baslet this time. Do you know that these candy baslets are so expensive? If you're someone who loves fish and just aquariums is your thing, look into this fish if you've got some extra money you want to splurge on a very rare fancy fish. But this brings the message of keeping your standards high. We already had Know Your Worth from the Wild Muse Oracle deck. Now we've got it from the Below the Surface Oracle. And this is all about reminding yourself that you shouldn't settle for less. Keep those standards high until you find someone who ticks the boxes. Because trust me, settling can get you into a situation that makes you waste so much time. Just think about it. If you settle for someone because you're worried you won't find another person, or, well, you know, everything else about them is fine except for this one thing, and then you put all your eggs in that basket and you settle on them, you may end up in a relationship for years or even decades that you know isn't right for you, where your confidence is being chiseled away at every single day because you know that's not the treatment you deserve. And if you would have just waited a few extra weeks or months or even years, just imagine if you just needed to wait an extra couple weeks or months to meet the right person, but you settled for someone else beforehand because you were too afraid the right person doesn't exist for you. And that's the difference between decades of love and appreciation and happiness and potentially decades of misery. You know what I mean? So group 3, whoever you spend your time with, romantically speaking, it is one of the biggest decisions you'll make in life. Take it seriously. Value yourself enough to say no. Next up, we've got the broad cup cuttlefish, which, again, we've got rapid changes. We've got you allowing for your flexibility to serve you. We've got you allowing for the fact that you do not remain complacent to be something that is very good in the end. So you are clearly understanding your worth. You are clearly allowing for someone to wine and dine you in a way that you are receptive to, not in a way that they want to, but in a way that you need. Because a lot of people will say, well, I did this or that for you. Well, I'm treating you like a girlfriend. Isn't that enough? Do I really need to put a label on it? Yeah, if that makes me comfortable, put a label on it, okay? Like, that's maybe how you think love is fine, but I need the label to feel secure, or I need this in order to feel loved. It's not about whether the person giving the love feels like it's enough love or it's the type of love that you need. You should be with someone who understands that it matters how you receive it. And if they can somehow make their delivery different so you can receive that love, someone who truly cares about you will be more than happy to do so. So remembering your worth, knowing your worth, allowing yourself to express your bold and wild side, you are winning during the month of March, group number 3. So keep those standards high and keep just asking for what it is that you need. Be bold. Trust me. You'll be surprised at how many people actually really like that, and in how many instances you will end up with an option for a relationship that is a lot more satisfying than if you hadn't asked for what you wanted. Now, group 3, this is your March love prediction that I received for you, and I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Make sure that you leave a little tiger emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it all the way to the end, group number 3, and of course that you belong to group number 3, because that's the only way you would know if you made it to the end of your reading and you chose group 3. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your March love prediction. You chose the Gentle Heart Tarot deck as well as the Rose Quartz Crystal. In case you're completely new to my channel, the Gentle Heart Tarot deck is actually the first tarot deck that I ever authored and published, which I'll be very proud to use here in your reading for you. But first up, let's talk about the Rose Quartz Crystal. You may have heard of this stone before. Now, if you intuitively felt drawn to it because of its beautiful baby pink hue, know that this is actually a stone of love and friendship. So that may be the deeper and underlying meaning why you felt drawn to this stone. So let me just make sure our lighting is good here. All right, group number 4, let's see what Spirit has to say about your love life during the month of March and what precisely is coming towards you. So first up, we've got the World. This is actually the last card of the major arcana in the tarot. There are 22 major arcana cards, and this is the most favorable one, the quote-unquote best card, as this card speaks of fulfillment and happiness and ultimately having everything that you've ever wanted. This is a card of accomplishment. So right off the bat, group number 4, the month of March is going to be amazing for you when it comes to romantic love and just love in general. This is a great month for you. It shows that after the month of March, you're going to wish that there was a little more March left for you. Next up, we've got Strength reverse. So you've been strong for a very long time, it seems like. So the Strength card showing up in reverse is symbolic of you finally being able to just chill, to live the soft life, maybe even to live in your divine feminine. If you saw that post on my Instagram about dating a man that finally lets you be in your divine feminine energy, you know precisely what I mean if you saw that reel. It's all about being in a relationship where you're not constantly kept in fight or flight mode, not being in a situationship where you have to question commitment levels, what's happening next, what you really are with this person. I definitely see here within Strength reverse, that is not something that you have to deal with any longer. Next up, within the Nine of Crystals, I see that it's time for you to finally just soothe yourself. Self-care is a big one, and it's time for you to do the things that you love, to take bubble baths, to go out to amazing restaurants and beautiful places, and go to all of these places by yourself if you feel like it, just because in order to do things that just soothe you. You don't have to do everything with a romantic partner. You don't have to do everything with a friend. March is really about caring for yourself and doing things that make you feel whole. And if you are dating someone or seeing someone and they don't have time to do it, you can still go out by yourself. You don't need to wait for them. Next up, within the Hierophant, I can definitely see here that the month of March is not only a great one when it comes to love, but it's also a great one in your connection to spirit and everything unseen. So if you're a spiritual or a religious person, I definitely see that you're going to look into more of that. You're going to feel super connected to your ancestors. And I also see in the Hierophant that you are bringing the values that you have spiritually into your romantic life, which is really serving you. And we did speak about in the Nine of Crystals how you had to quote unquote lick your wounds and just care for yourself. Another thing that helps you care for you is to delve more deeply into meditation and into practices of self-reflection. The Ten of Cups is actually another one of the most favorable cards. I can't believe this group number 4 your reading is really, really positive. We've got a lot of growth. We've got you putting yourself first, taking care of any parts of you that are hurt or broken. Here in the Nine of Crystals, we have the best card of the tarot, basically, which is the World card. The Strength card reverse shows that you're finally catching a break. And now the Ten of Cups, fulfillment, love, understanding that someone really cares for you. The Ten of Cups stands for joy, peace, a strong family bond. I mean, what more do you want romantically speaking during the month of March? Because you've got it all. You've got all the self-care. You've got the connection on a deeper level that isn't just, you know, surface level or here because of physical attributes. And we've got this joy that runs very deep when it comes to family and feeling a strong bond. Next up, we've got the giant oceanic manta ray, which brings you the message that life is a marathon, so don't burn yourself out in just one sprint. One thing that I want you to understand here within the giant oceanic manta ray is that your love life is just at the beginning. There's still so much to experience and so much to come. So if you've ever felt as though there isn't enough time to travel the world with someone you love or start a family and you're feeling kind of pressured and all of these things, I want you to know in the giant oceanic manta ray that life really is a marathon, and so is love. Don't feel like you have to do everything at the start or everything up front, or if you don't do it now, like there will never be an opportunity or more time. Definitely understand here that within the month of March, you will be experiencing a lot of things. Enjoy those things that are happening for you then, and don't worry so much about the future. The beluga whale shows me that you're feeding your curiosity, romantically speaking. You're trying something new. So if you are just dating, just figuring out different people from different towns, different ethnic backgrounds. You're going to go out with someone who's very different than what you are used to, group number 4. You're going to try something new. You're going to feed your curiosity because you're someone who's very open-minded. I also see that if you are in a committed relationship, this will be the month of trying something new to spice that relationship up, to make it a little bit more interesting, a little more sassy, if you know what I mean. And in the Tiger Shark, we've got your ancestors who are watching. Make them proud. Know here that those who came before you maybe didn't have the opportunity to just enjoy romantic relationships for what they were. Just think about it. In the past, our ancestors, they had to pick a partner based on whether they could provide, whether they could protect, and even then, there were saber-toothed tigers, there were lions and other things out there that could have hurt them as they were trying to hunt or gather things and just provide for the family. So life was a lot more dangerous, and you had to be selective in a way of primarily selecting a partner that would survive. And now you can select a partner based on some other criteria, right? Maybe you do want to select a partner who provides, but remind yourself here that we are in such a privileged time where essentially whether you are a man or a woman, you are able to purchase your own home in most places around the world. You are able to get a job and sustain your own life without depending on a partner. You can be very independent, which means that you can pick someone based on how they treat you, how they love you, how they respect you, and other factors that are important to you, rather than just having to pick someone on whether you think you would make a good enough team to survive this crazy ride called life, right? It's not such a life and death situation like your ancestors had to put up with when it comes to love. So know that it's so important that you pick someone who treats you right, where your mental health is guaranteed, because that is the new survival in this day and age, right? Having your mental health and sanity intact, even if you're in a romantic relationship. Because one thing about mental health is that it's very dangerous how unseen it is, because sometimes that makes us end up in relationships that really sabotage that area of our life. Next up, we've got the World and the Ten of Swords. I mean, this is incredible, group number 4, that you received the World again. Fulfillment, joy, family, peace. That's what we've got here within the World. I mean, your love life is looking really good. Now, the Ten of Swords does show me that there is some anxiety here. This anxiety may stem from the fact that, yeah, everything is so awesome. Everything is looking up. It seems like your love life is better than you expected it to be, and maybe almost feels a little too good to be true during the month of March. So you're kind of anticipating a drop or for something to change. So I want you to know here within the Ten of Swords that this is definitely indicative of you overthinking and getting in your head a little bit. But the thing about getting in your head and your mental space is that through grounding exercises and meditation and working on these things, you can get control over it. I see here within the Page of Pentacles that you may have to spend a little bit of money during the month of March to get started on this, to inspire yourself to work on this area. So think downloading a meditation app that maybe costs a few dollars a month for you to use because they have really amazing meditations on there. Maybe you want to participate in learning tarot, so you're purchasing some tarot decks because that helps you with your mental health, some oracle decks. These are all amazing tools for self-reflection, and you don't have to be an expert or a seasoned tarot reader to use these tools. You can simply purchase a deck. Most of them come with a guidebook, at least all of mine do, which explain every single card, and they have some spreads in there, so you know exactly what to do and what every card means. Now, the Three of Swords here shows me some heartache. That is usually what the Three of Swords means, but group 4, don't even worry about it. I definitely see here that with you receiving the World card twice, you receiving the Ten of Cups, this heartache, this is just little dramas, okay? This is someone who you're interested in or a loved one instead of texting you immediately when you wanted them to, like taking a couple hours to text you back, or instead of going to your favorite restaurant, that being booked out and then you have to go somewhere else. This is a minor inconvenience here. This is the only kind of difficulty or heartache that you're experiencing during the month of March, because really your love life is just in such a great place. And the only like difficulties are laughable, really. Group number 4, I just got to be honest with you. It's just when things are going really well, or when relationships are in a really great place, a lot of couples then they fight about just little trivial things, like for example where one person leaves the remote control or leaving the toilet seat up. Meanwhile, there are other couples who have issues that are a little bigger, such as terminal illnesses to deal with, maybe huge family dramas, things such as miscarriages. I mean, the list is endless. Not to make one set of issues less significant, but it's just a different scale. I think we can all agree it's just a different kind of heaviness, if you will, and yours is on the barely there side for the month of March, thankfully. In emotional baggage, I want you to know here that when it comes to your love life in March, you are working on that emotional baggage and on the fact that there are a few little triggers that are popping up now and then that you have picked up maybe from parents or past relationships, and you're kind of figuring out how to make sure that your love life moving forward isn't affected by it. And with the giant oceanic manta ray, you are making that connection between early childhood trauma and maybe past relationships, and understanding it's a work in progress, not to be so hard on yourself, and to know that you will slowly become a healthier and healthier partner to be around the more you realize and recognize and read about the experiences that you went through and how that maybe shaped you and your perception of love. Lastly, in Know Your Worth, group number 4, you are really glowing up during the month of March. You've got your favorite hairstyle going, your favorite makeup, your favorite scents and perfume, shoes that make you feel good. I see here that you are really amping up feeling and looking good for you, not for anybody else. You know your worth because you're not afraid to invest a little bit in yourself either, like getting your nails done, your toes done, just looking tip top during the month of March. That's a good way to put it, and not feeling like you're too extravagant or too much. No, you simply want to feel comfortable in your body, and the more comfortable you feel with your appearance and your hygiene level, the more you will be attractive to other people, not because you just look good, but when people can see that you walk around with confidence and you walk around looking and feeling good in your own skin, that is attractive. There's nothing more attractive than someone who loves themselves, who is oozing confidence, and who isn't afraid to show the world that they are being themselves and they're loving it. They're loving this thing called life. And that's definitely the type of energy and vibe that I see that you have during the month of March. And it's really hot, group number 4. There's no other way to put it. So keep it going, keep the heat pumping, and know here that March is an amazing month when it comes to love for you. So group 4, leave a globe emoji below in the comment section to manifest and claim the fact that you had the World card show up twice from 2 different tarot decks. Can you believe that? Each tarot deck has 78 cards, and you received the World card in both of them. What are the odds, right? It is really your angels and guides speaking right here. Make sure you leave that globe emoji below to let me and others know that you were here and you watched all the way to the end. Group number 4, I'd like to thank you so much for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me. Know that I'm sending you so much love and so many hugs, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming readings.